Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of identifying functions. This is standard 8.5G in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 28 off the 2016 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got this strange mapping here to where we've got 4 x values, we've got 3 y values, and we've got some arrows here, and we need to identify whether it is or is not a function, right? So f says represents, g says does not represent, h says represents, j says does not represent. So that's first and foremost what is a function. And so let's define that before we see which of these answer selections is correct. So a function is simply a relationship that we have in math where one input leads to one output. All right, so what are our inputs? What are our outputs? Well, our inputs are always our independent variables. And we should know by now that we label those as our x. Our outputs are always our dependent variables. We always label those as our y. So really, we're looking at 1x leads to 1y. And so that's what a function is. And so let's take a look at what we have here for our x and y. So obviously we've got our -1. That leads to 1. That's fine. Our 0 leads to 4. That's fine. But take a look at this. I've got both 2 and 3 both leading to the 7. Is that a function or is that not a function? Well, let's take a look at our definition here. 1x leads to 1y. So I've got my x of 2. That leads to 1y of 7. So 2 and 7 match up. So that's good. I've got a 3. And that leads to 7. Does that lead to 1y? Yes. It doesn't matter if both 2 and 3 lead to 7. What we cannot have here on a function is if we were to do like this. 2, let me add another one. 2 goes to 5. See, this is what would make it not a function, is if I had 2 leading to 7 and then 2 leading to 5, because then I would have 1x leading to 2 y's. So it doesn't really matter if I've got 2 different x's leading to the same y. What I cannot have in a function is 2 different x's leading to different y's, because I can only have 1x leading to 1y. I cannot have 1x leading to multiple y's. So let's look at our answer selections. So this is a function, so I'm going to say this is check. So it is going to either be f or h. It's kind of a tricky one because we've got multiple x's leading to the same y, but that's fine as long as the same x doesn't lead to different y's. So the map represents y as a function of x because each y value corresponds to exactly one x value. That's no, because look, I've got 3 y values, and it's this 7 corresponds to both 2 and 3. So they've actually got that reversed. So that's incorrect. And on this mapping, if I wanted to show that 2 and 5, maybe I would kind of draw an extra arrow like this to show how this would not be a function. If I drew 2 different arrows off of 2, that's another way to kind of show that non-function. So let's look at h. The mapping represents y as a function of x because each x value corresponds exactly to one y value. There we go. So 1x leads to 1y. That's exactly what we said. So our answer here is H.